Welcome. My name is Mackenzie Mitchell, and today we're here with Pastor Howard Gordon III, and we'll be answering the question: how do I become a faithful servant?
Good morning, Mackenzie, and thank you for the question. We will try our best to give an answer that's understandable by all. It's a good question. Being faithful to God is less about being perfect, is less about behaving than it is about relationship. And so the Bible teaches us how we are to love and how we are to obey and how we are to trust God. Even in ordinary moments like just getting up every day and walking around in life. So when it comes to relationship and it relates to service, God is more concerned about that instead of performance. Jesus would say in John 15:4-5 that we are to abide in Him. And what He means by that is that when we connect to Him, there is nothing that you or I cannot do as it relates to serving. In another text He said, if I want to serve, then I've got to lower myself and humble myself. So relationship is important. Loving God first is also important in how we serve in serving God. Again, it's not about performance, it's about relationship. Love is not a performance, although it is what we do, but it is what we do relationally with other people, with other instruments, whatever the case might be. So faithfulness starts with love, and it flows over into service. As you understand, things that you like to do, things that you love, you don't do things you don't like. You don't do things you don't love. So we serve because we love. And Jesus says, if I want to become great, I've got to become a servant. So where do I serve? I serve at home. I serve at church. I serve at work. I serve in my community. I serve on the basketball floor. I serve on the studio floor. I serve as a cheerleader. And I do that through being compassionate, being generous, and of course, being patient with people. So love is important. Walking by the Spirit is important when it comes to how I serve the Lord, because you can't walk by the flesh. People of God are produced based on the fruits of the Spirit and not the fruits of the flesh. Sometimes we have to ask the Holy Spirit to guide us, and especially if you're like me, you're walking along and you're doing your best, and all of a sudden something gets in the way. There's a roadblock or a wall that's in your way that you have to overcome. And so we need help from the Spirit in order to keep us in a serving posture. And then, of course, we have to be teachable. We have to be willing to learn. Not every servant that wants to serve knows how, so we have to learn. And we have to stay faithful. We have to remain faithful in our thoughts and our intentions and in the work that we do. So when it comes to relationship, we're living a life for God's glory now. And people, a lot of people at least, are out to seek the approval of other people, yet the children of God are out to seek and get the approval of God. So whatever you do, I think the Apostle Paul would tell the Corinthian church, whatever you do it all for the good of Christ. So if I'm going to answer the question or deal with the idea of how do I be a faithful servant of God, it is first to begin with a healthy dose of love, to humble myself, to be compassionate, of course, to be willing to learn from others who have gone before me and those who are even coming after me, for example. We'll use you as an example of one coming after me. I'm about, don't you laugh at me, Mackenzie, I'm about 50 years your senior, but there's a lot I can learn from you about God. And the reason is that when one humbles themselves to the point of being a child, then their mind is open for all kinds of new stuff. And so we don't look down at young people any different than we do old people when it comes to serving, because all of us do the same thing. And so I love the question. I appreciate the question. I hope that gives folks at least a platform to ask further questions concerning faithful service to God. But if you take nothing else from this, remember that the first and greatest commandment is to love the Lord with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then the second of that is to love your neighbor just as yourself. That's my answer to you. Love your question. Appreciate you. I love that smile too. I always do. And we look forward to the next opportunity. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you. And feel free to leave any questions or comments on our YouTube at Leesburg, lowercase C-O, capital C.